Good morning, welcome to a morning review. This is Kim Watson speaking on Tuesday the 24th of May. So looking at the euro dollar first, and we've just seen yet another day yesterday in relatively tight range. At the moment it could still be seen as being a bit of a bear flag in the bigger picture. We do have the weekly pivot above us, however, which, well, even if that's hit, it may be a decent reversal point for a continuation to this sort of downward trend that we've been seeing. Looking at the shorter time frame, and you can pretty much see that it's a lot of chop a lot of the time. We are seeing some ranges and some trends within these days, but for many hours we're sitting with bars side by side, making it quite sort of difficult to do too much with. Even when it has trended down a little bit, we've still had sort of 4 hours of continuation sideward, and then an hour down, 3 hours down. This seems to be the pattern of the euro at the moment. Hopefully it'll revert back to more of a trendy type currency soon, but we'll see. Okay, a pound dollar. Pound dollar, well, it's not really doing too much better, but at least it's having some intraday trends at times. For now, we've seen a pivot swing put in on the dailies yesterday, so a continuation of this to the downside. It's already hit the weekly pivot, so there's little to be done there. Again, it can spend several hours in chop. Even when it starts building a trend, it seems to be wanting to chop first. Now it's pretty sideward at the moment. From here, where to? Well, if we can break that 50 MA to the upside, I'd be looking bullish. Alternatively, it starts selling off this morning and breaks these lows. We could pop a trend line across this sort of low area. Maybe looking for the sell side towards yesterday's lows and maybe the daily S1. Dollar yen. Well, we've popped in a bit of a pivot swing on the dailies here. There's sort of been agreement that there won't be any continued discussions regarding FX intervention. So, well, it's back to its whatever it's going to do for now. Left the market's home forces. Not that the discussions on the threats of intervention did anything. It seemed, if anything, to strengthen the yen against the dollar each time that's occurred. Difficult to see what's really going on. As I say, there's a pivot swing there, not quite triggered. If it breaks yesterday's lows, then it's triggered and it could continue to the south side. We've had this sort of downward move, if anything, as a sort of a bearish flaggy sort of pattern here as well. So again, I'm really looking for the downside potential here. If it's going to roll over, we'll see. Maybe again we can draw in a trend line across even the current bar for now, and maybe see a break of that. We have got the untouched daily pivot above us, and that may be a sufficient draw if we can break through the 21s to be hit, and depending on what happens from there, would probably shape up the day somewhat. Any sort of strong reaction to that may see us coming back and continuing in this what has been a downward trend in this intermediate time frame. Okay, Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar continuing pretty much in its tracks. It's the news from the Reserve Bank chairman. Really quite negative, suggesting that it sees further slowdown in growth, and we've seen a bit more of a continuation of the pattern that we've been seeing for a while with the Aussie dollar. It's probably most consistent in that sort of thing. However, yet again, we're seeing many hours of chop at times. Strong move down at the moment. Maybe find some support into its S2. It's new territory where it's sitting in the near term here. But, I mean, well, we're not too far away from the monthly S3, which may be a reasonable target. There's little in the way of obvious support that sits there until we get down to the 68 sort of area. Maybe there's some support a bit higher than that, around 70. And, of course, the whole numbers may come into play with 17 may come into play. But for now, certainly in this daily downward trend, and there seems little really that's helping across the whole board here at the moment. Today's move, well, as I say, could come down towards the S2, maybe even the weekly S1 area, which is just a bit further down. Okay, Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar seeing a continuation to the upside. Today it's run on through. These bars are seem to be getting a little tad smaller, or certainly a bit smaller than those previous bars, which could suggest it's exhausting itself somewhat in this upward correction. We've still got the weekly pivot below us. However, we're not really seeing divergence now. We wore off the original divergence, so it's sitting there, and it is pushing. To say, still looking like it's got some potential to continue. Not much else to be said here, really. I've put this in this sort of lighter grey. Hopefully you can see it. Oil's heading southwards at the moment, so the correlation remains pretty tight amongst this pairing. So as oil starts sliding back down, it's sitting at $47 again. We could see a bit more continuation on the CAD there. So that's pretty much it. Nothing significant there this morning. Nothing overly clear. Maybe CAD will carry on pushing up a bit higher, but the euro looks awkward and choppy as ever. Cable may look like a favourite for a move at some point this morning, possibly at this stage, maybe a bit more to the upside, but we'll see. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great one. Bye for now.